Hi there. Welcome to A Spiritual Remedy. I am Sunshine Day, and I am the spiritual director of Vida Spiritual Learning Center. And it is my absolute joy to welcome you to another episode of A Spiritual Remedy. Good morning, Mahogany. What a blessing it is to have you here each week. I love and adore you so much. You are amazing. My show is dedicated to people in recovery. And when I use that term recovery, I use it loosely because so many of us are recovering from weapons of mass distractions. And what I mean by that is sometimes we are captured by drugs, alcohol, stress. Um, we're captured by shopping, sex, by gambling, by all these things, the news, being addicted to cell phones, being addicted to all of these things. And sometimes we don't necessarily think that these are addictions, but they are indeed distractions from us living our best life. So I see a world, good morning, Nancy. I see a world where people are living their best life and loving it. And this show is dedicated for those folks who are looking to find that thing within themselves that leads them to their greatness. And last week I just want to thank everybody because last week we started a gratitude list. And I just want to say that there have been a handful of you who have joined in on that gratitude and writing in and texting me your gratitude list. For those of you who have done that, thank you. And I want you to know that not only are you sending me your gratitude list, but I interact with you and I send you my gratitude list. So let's put the number up. And this is the phone number. Take note of it. This is the phone number that you can use to text me your gratitude list. This is specifically for your gratitude list. If you want to text me and go, hey, I need help with this or that, the other thing, go ahead and do that as well. However, what I want you to know is that a practice of gratitude opens up your heart and mind, and it opens you up for receiving so much. Now, don't do it because, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get so much, I'm going to receive so much. But do it because as a result of doing it, it actually helps to build up a spiritual muscle within you, and you get to really see and notice how abundant you are. Now, imagine for a moment today that you didn't have today what you weren't grateful for yesterday. And I usually do that. Hey, Valerie, I love you. It's so good to have you stop through. So imagine for a minute that you didn't have anything that you don't have today, anything that you would have if you weren't grateful for it yesterday. So, in other words, if you didn't engage in a gratitude practice yesterday, consciously or even unconsciously, you wouldn't have those things. So, what would those things be that you would not have? Right? Like I probably, wouldn't have my microphone, even though I was grateful for my microphone yesterday. I love my microphone and my whole setup. So I was grateful for technology yesterday. I was grateful for my health yesterday. But you know what? There's so many things to be grateful for and to appreciate that it would take me my entire life to be grateful for it. But I wanted to drive home that point today before we move on to our topic for today, because I'm really encouraging as many of you to go ahead and use that phone number to text me your gratitude list. In response, I will send to you my gratitude list, and together what we're doing is supporting each other. This is for fun and for free. There, you don't have to pay anything to send it to me. You get to just be in the practice. If you're serious about changing and shifting your life for the better, start with this simple gratitude list. A few weeks ago, we actually started also with that meditation process of counting down from 50 all the way down to 1. I want to remind us of these simple tools, and don't get it twisted, all right? Like, don't get it twisted. Just because these are simple things does not make them any less profound than some of the things that people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go to some workshop to do or to learn. These are simple yet profound practices that shift and change your life. They shift and change the way your brain fires. They shift and change everything so that you're living your best life. And I mean, I don't know about you. I definitely love my life. Even with everything that's happening around, I love my life. So these specific practices will help us to live our best life. So go ahead and begin, even if it's just like 3, 5 things that you're grateful for. Go ahead and text them to me. Here's the number one more time. And I promise you that as I look at them, I will be with your gratitude list. Remember to put your name on there so I know who you are. And I'll be with you with your gratitude list, and I will send you my gratitude list as well. All right. So the topic for today is bonding with others, or bond with others. Here's the idea of a bond with others, and then we're gonna do just a little bit of a silence. Hi, Bertha. I love you. So good to have you hanging out today. So, bond with others. I have a friend. Her name is Shirley Harris. Shirley, I love you. We call her Red. And I remember working with Shirley Harris years ago in the field of recovery and HIV and AIDS. We were doing a lot of activism work and really helping people protect themselves against another virus that was really spreading through our communities. And we were having one of those kind of intimate conversations. And she said, you don't have to dance with everybody, but you gotta dance with somebody. You don't have to dance with everybody, but you gotta dance with somebody. And after all these years, this is like over 20 something years ago that she said this. And I remember it because when we are in life, the tendency, especially now coming out of like our stay-at-home quarantine period of COVID, the tendency is to be alone. And being alone can be quite fruitful, but being isolated is something different. And there were so many people that were isolated, so many people that isolated themselves and took themselves out of play and out of the opportunity to be with others. Now, I'm grateful for our technology, right? Hey, Diane. Yes, indeed. I am absolutely with you on the faithfulness of life and family and friends and your gratitude. I appreciate you for that. So in this idea of bond with others, we have an opportunity now to begin to recognize that we are not a silo, that we do not operate well by ourselves. I mean, we can say, oh yeah, I'm independent and I do this or I made this happen. However, what's most important to recognize is that we cannot live by ourselves, because someone created the house or the apartment that you're in. Someone grew the food that you're eating, the roads that have been paved, the traffic signals. We are actually more interdependent than we are independent or dependent. We're interdependent. And it's that interdependency that if you are someone who is seeking to eliminate these weapons of mass distraction, right? The drugs, the alcohol, the cell phones, the stress, the fear, the anxiety. If you are ready to release these weapons of mass distraction and actually focus in and recover your life, in other words, recover the wholeness, the perfection, the divinity, the great joy of your life, if you're able, if that's what you want to do, then it is important that we learn some simple skills to bond with others. And again, I'm brought back to the words of my friend Shirley Harris, who said, you don't have to dance with everybody, but you got to dance with somebody. And so today I want to talk a little bit about a couple of the strategies that I've used, which are natural strategies. This is not like, ooh, I'm going to be plotting and scheming, but these are some skills, strategies, if you will, for lack of a better term, in which to begin to develop that bond with others. Some people might call it friendship. Some people might call it an acquaintance. It may be a therapist, but what I am encouraging is that these are people that you engage with for fun and for free. That there's no exchange of money per se, that you're paying for someone's time, but that you're actually developing relationships to where you're talking, you're expressing yourself, you're experiencing others, and that together there is this mutual support, or there's this equitable support, and that you experience the opportunity to be with other people. It's that dancing with somebody, right? So, I know people are like, oh, I don't know how to make friends, or I'm awkward. Yeah, we gotta try, right? When we're dancing, when we're learning the waltz or the two-step or the cha-cha or the merengue or whatever it is, in the beginning, you're looking down at your feet and you're trying to do the deal. You're looking down, but after a while, hey, you can look at your dance partner and you can really be in it. You can actually feel the energetic, and you can feel the synergy between you and your dance partner. Now, it's the same thing when you begin to bond with others. In the beginning, it's going to be quite awkward. You might even say to yourself or out loud, awkward. And it's going to be maybe the awkward silence, or maybe you think open mouth, insert foot, because you might have said something. Who cares? Dance with somebody. Begin to bond with someone. Begin to actually have and go beyond the superficial, hi, how are you? Look at the weather, how's the family kind of thing. Begin to not just be quote unquote friendly, but begin to make comments and become interested in someone else. And that's what it takes. It takes you becoming interested. Now, not from a sexual, like I want to get with that person, interested, and not like the nosy neighbor who's peeking out I wonder what they're doing, interested, not that kind of curious. Sometimes people call it curiosity. I like to call it being interested. When I walk up and down the street and I'm speaking with my neighbors, I become interested. Oh, I noticed that your flowers are doing this and this, or I noticed you planted a new plant. What is that? Tell me about it. Why did you pick that? What do you love about that? What do you love about you? So just find something that you have in common, genuinely in common. If you're not interested in plants, don't talk about the plants. But find something that you have in common or that you like, and then just begin to, hey, do you have a minute? I was wondering, or I was thinking about you the other day, and I'm really digging this car that you're driving. What do you like most about it? I mean, that's one of the ways that I begin to bond with others, is over, what they do. I have a neighbor on the corner who is someone who sweeps like every day the surroundings, and I get an opportunity to talk with him and to have conversation and to begin to engage and have that bond. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up in the Bronx, right? And in the Bronx, back in the day, we lived in apartment buildings, 10, 12 floors, and, about 6 buildings on a block and things of that nature. And what was important about our neighborhood is that people get to know you, and they get to know you from that place of, oh, that's so and so's kid who lives at that building on the second floor. And if we were misbehaving, believe me, they would call my grandmother. They would call her, because we lived on the second floor, and they'd be like, mira, mira, right? Because my grandmother, she spoke very little English, and the numbers runners and things like that people would know, because she would be like, mira, 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 and she would, be kind of trying to communicate with people. And so she was known as mira, mira. And mira, mira, if, they would know that we were mira, mira's grandkids, me and my sister or my cousins, they knew we were family. And so if we, hey, Des, it was so good seeing you yesterday for a moment. Now, if we misbehaved, they would know to come to the building and call out, mira, mira, your kids or whatever, la nenas, la niños, and they would communicate. Here, that's the thing about bonding with others. It doesn't have to be like, oh, like crazy glue or gorilla glue bonding that you are stuck forever for life. But when we begin to bond with others and we let others know who we are, if anything would have ever happened to me and my sister and my cousins, any one of the neighbors in the neighborhood they'd be able to come and be like, hey, they're in trouble, come and help, or, they're misbehaving, or they're doing good, or I gave them such and such. Like, that's the idea. The idea on a personal level is that we begin to recognize and know each other, and that we begin to become a support. That's the idea, is that when we're having trouble and challenges, to have the support. You don't have to dance with everybody, but you got to dance with somebody. You got to dance with somebody. And maybe you have a couple of somebodies in different areas of your life. Maybe as you're growing your family, you may want to have that person that you bond with, that you can exchange stories with, that you can exchange family skills with. Hey, what do you do, when your kid reaches puberty? How did you have that talk with your kid? Or hey, my kid is hitting and hitting others. What was that like for you? Did you experience that? Can you share with me a little bit about that? I'm so grateful to dance with you too, Bertha. That we're able to have those intimate conversations, that we're able to also say, hey, here's what I struggle with, or I don't know how to do XYZ. Can you help me with that? I'm glad, Daisy. Thank you, Daisy. I'm so glad that this is beneficial, because that's the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to really begin to share information, to build a community where we do recover, right? This is not just about, hey, come buy products or anything like that. This is really a show around how we can really be mutually beneficial. The other thing too is it's important to spend time together, even if it's watching paint dry, and just kind of like sitting on the porch, having a cup of coffee, or, having a meal together. The important part of the bonding is that there is an exchange of honesty. And there's that word, honesty. And that when we're exchanging that honesty, that we're actually letting people in. I like the term intimacy, right? And I like to say it into me see. Into me see. Intimacy is into me see. Like, see into me. Don't just, yes, the outer, a lot of people want to, be all flashy or whatever, beyond that, beyond the clothes, beyond the color of the skin, beyond the width of the nose, behind the texture of the hair, behind all of that. What is it? Finding out and listening well, actively listening and being open and opening up. It is an exchange. Who are you dancing with? Nancy says in the movie Castaway, the story of missing those bonds is so powerful. Isn't that so true, Nancy? Thank you for bringing that up. Old school movie, I think, with Tom Hanks, where, he's on an island all by himself and he makes a coconut his friend, but having coming out of COVID, as we are, even though, we still might have mandates and things like that, the bottom line is that we have an opportunity to dance with somebody. To dance with somebody. I know my dog wants to go out. Who do you want to bond with, Mello? Come. Come. She wants to go out right now. So here's what I want to do. This is a great opportunity for us just to take a moment and go within. So let's do this. If you're at a place where you can really be still for just a few moments, I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. Here's what I'd like us to do is, I know, give me a second. I would really love for us to just center down. And there's going to be noise around you. There might even be a mellow day barking and seeking your attention. But even then, just begin to center down. And as you close your eyes, I'm going to go pick her up. But as you close your eyes, just begin to breathe normally and naturally. And just notice that natural calm. And then just ask yourself, what is it that I need to let somebody know? And who is that somebody? Who do I want to bond with? Who do I want to just make that connection with? Who do I want to get close to and have get close to me? And if there's a name or if there's something that needs to be said, or something that you just want to release, and you need to find somebody in which you can trust and bond with. What is it that needs to be said, and who is it that you need to say it to and with, and how do you make that connection? And just be open to receiving any names or pictures, or maybe even a feeling tone or a scent. Just be open to that message is coming to you. And now gently open your eyes. And again, just be grateful. Grateful for this topic. Grateful for your life. Just appreciate this moment that we've had. Now, I'm going to put my phone number back up again for those of you who want to send me your gratitude list. Go ahead and text it to me. I will text you my gratitude list. And if there's something that you need to bond with someone else about and you want some assistance in that, send me a text. Let me know. Let me know, and let's see how I can support you and how I can be a loving support, and how I can continue to provide some spiritual tools for your personal transformation. It's been great being here with you today. Know that you're loved. Melody says hi as well. This is my first guest on the show. Know that you're loved and that I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next Monday, have a great week. I'll see you then. Bye for now. Celebrate.